Welcome back. We are here with another episode on this here heater box, which I know you've heard quite a bit about, but I promise that we're getting to the end of it.
We're all sick of it.
We're all sick of
Even
it.
you guys. Also us.
But it's also what a wonderful learning opportunity for all of us. Let's look at the positives here.
Yeah.
1 put down equals 2 put up, Sam. Say 2 nice things about the heater box.
It's got all fresh foam seals, which is wonderful. And it's got a brand new heater core, which is huge because those suck.
Those are terrible.
And this is what you have to do if your heater core goes bad, which yours did.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it didn't leak, luckily, but it was chock full of garbage.
It was going to be bad.
So, yeah.
So, today, now that we've got everything back together, which you would have saw us kind of like refitting this heater core in the last video, now what we're going to do is we're going to pressure test this heater core and all these connections that we made. So we have our only channel sponsor, Joel, here. He's the cameraman. Thank you, Joel. If you'd like to come over here and show these fine folks this little area here. So all these connections that we made, they all have O-rings, and then they're sealed with these metal clamps. So there's 1, 2, 3, and those are all just opportunities to leak around the heater valve. So we want to make sure that that's not going to happen outside of the car.
Yeah, and it's it's an aftermarket heater core, so it's probably fine. It looks very nice, but it's not like a genuine Toyota or Denso heater core. So we want to kind of make sure that it's good. And the one connection we had to make with an O-ring that didn't exactly fit, I think it's fine. I think we got something that was close enough that I think it'll do its job, but we only had two new O-rings and we have 3 connections.
Yeah.
So we had to kind of find something that fits. So we want to make sure that that's actually sealed.
And I'm pretty big on ordering stuff like that, like from Toyota, but in the parts diagrams, I even called and talked with a person there, which is usually never helpful. But I
tried.
I tried. I mean, I went that far as to be like, hey, I can't find this on the parts diagrams. Those O-rings are not listed as part numbers, so it must be something that they just have in a general stock, that they're able to like pull from.
Yeah.
Or it comes from the heater valve. So we've assembled a nice pile of items over here. We were kind of mulling it over with our favorite adult beverage, and so we've got Joel has donated this vacuum pump to use, so we're going to try that. I've got like just a Harbor Freight like random gauge kit that should give us a reading, but I don't even know if we're going to get this far as to use this because we're going to try something more simple. Sam, I don't know if you want to take them through the process.
Yeah, so Adam got all these rubber caps, some good old help from Dorman
help section,
and
Advanced Auto sponsor us.
So we got a couple of big ones that'll fit over the pipes pretty decent. Obviously we'll put a clamp on there to hold it down, but Adam had the good idea of using an inner tube from a bike tire, which is kind of big for the actual heater pipes themselves, but with these big caps on there, it's pretty close. So we're going to try drilling a hole in one of these caps, looping this from pipe to pipe, and filling it up with a bike pump that has a hand pump that has a gauge on it, and seeing if we can just put some pressure into it, like about 20 pounds, and see if it'll hold that pressure. And if it does, then it should be good. A vacuum pump would probably work just as fine, but as me and Joel were just talking a little bit ago, in my experience with stuff, this is brand new. So for just testing a leak, vacuum is almost just as good as pressure, but this is designed to hold pressure. Sometimes things move just a little bit differently under pressure than they do under vacuum. So I've run into all sorts of weird, crazy problems diagnosing vehicles that have a leak that are perfectly fine under vacuum and leak under pressure. and vice versa. If
Mhm.
it's supposed to be a vacuum system and you pressurize it,
Yeah.
it might be fine, but then all of a sudden in a vacuum, something moves differently. An O-ring shifts, or a little flap of a rubber hose gets pushed out by pressure, but
Pulled
pulled in by vacuum, and it
That's-
seals itself. So there's
Yeah.
weird things happen. So I would feel, it's like a 10% thing, right? Like
Yeah.
I would feel just 10% better if it was pressure tested the way it's going to be. It'll be pressurized when it's in the vehicle. So we're going to give it a shot. If that doesn't work, I would say I'd feel okay with a good vacuum test. If it held vacuum, probably fine.
Yeah.
But I'd rather pressure test it if we can do it.
Just making sure that's the spec.
Yep.
This is, if you'll look in the Toyota service manual, this is the exact procedure they ask you to follow here. Go to a bike shop, ask them for an old bike tube,
Right.
preferably one that has a hole as close to the Schrader valve as possible.
Yeah.
Okay, now the gauge is insanely accurate here. Now it should like bleed off of here, right? Like can go through the hole. Yeah,
Oh yeah, it should be pressurized. It's going to pressurize this whole thing.
I know, but
Yeah. Well, that's the path of least resistance right now.
where am I at here? See, it's just making this bigger.
Yeah.
You want me to keep going? This is going to blow up.
It might.
It's not letting air into there.
It is letting air into there.
How sure are you?
It's
of
just
that?
expanding this a lot easier than it is creating pressure. Just put it at 20 right away and just let her fly.
Just do 20.
Let her rip, tater chip. They was, it's just bleeding off.
Yeah, because when it's in a tire, it doesn't have any place to go, right?
Yeah.
The tire is holding it
Yeah,
from expanding, and that's what's creating the pressure.
yeah. Well, that's why I was wondering if we needed to
I mean, you could put like hose clamps on it, but then it's just gonna
outside of that. Okay.
it's gonna look like a knockwurst.
Start with 8. She's gonna blow. I think we need a bigger hole in there.
It's Adam. It's not the hole.
But shouldn't it? Okay, you're saying that this whole thing, this whole space is 8. It's currently at 4.5.
Yes.
Okay, I understand. But how are we supposed to test up to that if this is going to explode?
Well, apparently we can't get up to 20 psi without it blowing up.
If it's not happy enough, just let it sit for.
Well, it's at 4 right now.
It's at 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. That doesn't feel good. Big oof.
Straight to 20.
Well, I mean, you're not going to make it to 8. Sam, would you care to do the honors? Oh, Joel. Joel, he's a maniac here. All right, I'm going to stand back.
Jesus.
Well, made it to 6. All right.
Look at that. Looks like a cartoon.
It
The way it
does.
blew up.
Okay, so you saw the explosion. This is what we're left with. So the tire tube method, unfortunately, did not work. It didn't really tell us anything, I don't think. We know that it can hold approximately 5 to 6 psi. So there's that.
There's that.
That's like a third of the way there, right?
Yeah. Well, and that's probably fine. But
probably adequate.
we didn't get enough time on it to really
Yeah, to
for
know if it
sure.
would like bleed off or
Yeah.
anything like that. Yeah. Okay, so next step, we are gonna cut this little Schrader valve out of here. Then Sam is gonna drill out the cap a little bit more. We're gonna super glue. I mean, we're getting real field science. I feel like Bill Nye, like right now. Okay.
All right, so cut the Schrader valve out of the tube,
Here's our new and improved.
and then drill the bigger hole in the cap. I'm just going to put some super glue around this bottom little flange here. Pull it through. It's a pretty tight fit. Honestly, it might not even need the glue, but
Well, and I figured the pressure would push it up further against it.
yeah, but it'll also find its way out if it can.
Yeah.
So just going to put a little bit of glue.
Little glue on there.
All right, now there's super glue on the inside of this, so we're going to wait a minute before we throw this on the brand new heater pipes.
Uh-huh.
But that looks like that should be pretty good.
This is our
unit.
Our unit here. What a beaut.
We've erected the unit.
She's a beaut, Clark.
Hopefully this holds pressure.
Yeah, we'll have to see. So, on to our next option here for holding pressure. This was my idea. I'm going to see see what my idea does.
I like this idea though. Well, should we try the hand pump first?
Yeah, I like the control of that.
Yeah.
I feel like
Do you know if that gauge works though?
the gauge definitely works.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't been able to get it off.
How accurate is it, I wonder? I mean, yeah, of course, we didn't even get to 8. We didn't even get to 8 pounds.
Yeah, I mean the first dash on it is 10 pounds. Or 10 psi.
Well, there's more than that, but
Yeah, well, this is gonna be tricky with the length of it.
it's never long enough, is it?
It's the story of my life.
Reminders constantly.
Oh.
Ooh, look at that.
What, did it go right away?
10 pounds.
Immediately? Okay, that's probably good. Okay, that's 20.
We'll go look at your radiator cap. So now we need soapy water.
Okay. So we've got our test set up here, and sprayed some soapy water on all the connections here just to see, what's going on. Oh, that's a good idea.
See if this shows any different.
Yeah. What's it at right now? I want to see what it's... 10.5, okay. Maybe just go to 15.
We'll just go to 20 and see what it does.
All right. Soapy water on all the connections here, 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 and there. So far, no bubbling. Any change in the pressure on there yet?
No change there. There may be some bubbling here.
Seeing a little something there?
Well, I don't know.
You want to spritz it again? Oh. Okay.
Is that the connection that we used the O-ring that we just found?
I can't remember. I'd have to watch back in videos. So it's looking like this was a wise decision. Sam found a spot where it's on the end tank. And this is very tough to see right here. Okay, Sam, you want to wipe that away?
Yeah, it's right here. So it's not coming from here or even underneath this edge over here. It's like right here. You can see a little bit of like a hump where it's pushing up. So it's probably right in the middle of where that hump is. And it's leaking.
Yeah, we tried to tip the box up like this so that there wasn't any chance of like pooling.
Okay.
Oh yeah, see it got bigger.
Get rid of it again.
All right.
Wipe it away. I'll watch.
Yep, I see it already.
Yep.
There it goes. Man. All That's what devastation looks like.
Yeah, that's a serious bummer.
Okay. Well.
So far, it looks like they gave you a bad, brand new product.
Yeah. Well, let's. We're gonna get to pulling this stuff out, and we'll see if we can isolate exactly where that is. I'd like to, get a specific point. So,
Yeah.
we're gonna take this out of here, and we'll show you when it's out of the box.
Okay, so the other thing that I want to make sure we do is very gently get the soapy water in there,
like just
so that we don't want to make any bubbles by spraying it hard.
Yeah.
We want to just kind of dribble it into that spot.
Well, I mean, you could pour it. So we're gonna get it in that channel, basically.
Mm-hmm. Right there.
Good, Joe. Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's pouring out of there. Dude.
I'm not happy about this.
I'm gonna try and remain positive and say I'm happy this happened here
Yeah.
instead of in my car when the dash is back in it.
Yeah, I mean, as unnecessary as this seemed.
I know you told me you're like, it's new, just go.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe I shouldn't be weird about this. But then I thought I'm gonna take the extra half hour it takes to come up with rubber caps and
yeah.
I mean, maybe an hour. We got an hour into it probably.
Yeah, no, this was by far the right thing to do.
Yeah.
God, I can't believe this.
I know.
Right there.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
Just saw it go.
Right there. Well, that's a bubble. It just came out of the little hole. You can't. The camera won't pick it up, but I could barely see it.
Yeah. So, wow.
Yeah.
Few things. A, I'm happy we pressure tested it because it only took about an hour of ingenuity, some backyard ingenuity here to get it going. But this testing method that we used right here with the valve, this was honestly pretty awesome. This works really well. We just super glued it into one of those caps. Holds pressure perfectly, and with the soapy water, not a single bubble.
Right. On the parts that we made?
On the sketchy part that we made where we sliced it all out with a razor and a drill.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. That holds pressure, fortunately.
Yeah.
The precision engineered tiny little radiator,
not so much.
That one just can't seem to do it, which is extremely unfortunate. So Sam found that little pinhole in there.
I'm actually kind of disappointed that the leak wasn't just from the connections, because I thought for sure it's close to that one connection.
Well, yeah, and we use that. We use an O-ring that we just adapted to it. It wasn't the perfect O-ring by far, but what's cool about it is that it did hold.
Yeah.
So I have some confidence in those connections, and the fact that you found we can reproduce the exact point where that comes out of there. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, devastating and awesome.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it really sucks. I really thought this was going to be
a fun thing. Yeah.
Not even fun. Just
not fun, but
thought it was going to be real simple, straightforward. Yep. Okay. Holds pressure. Cool. Let's, continue. And I did not think that it was going to leak. And
that has me feeling kind of, validated for pushing to do this.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad you did.
Because I kept being like, "Well, we're this far,
And it was the right thing to do.
Yeah, and I mean,
and I might have skipped it. If it was me, I might have skipped it.
Might have thrown it in, and you wouldn't know until. I mean, think how long that would have taken.
Oh yeah.
For it would have soaked into the foam.
Yep.
And then it would have soaked into all this foam.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing is, then after that foam just got so swollen and full, then it would have started dumping out of the box. Yeah. And at that point, you're already the whole thing needs to come apart again.
And we would have assumed that it was a connection.
Oh, big time.
There's
Yeah,
no way.
I would have
there's
never
no,
been like it's the
Nope.
heater core itself.
Never
no.
would have thought that it was the core.
So yeah. So good that we caught it now. Well, that concludes our evening. I was hoping we would start putting this thing back in there
Me too.
so that we could start testing it in the car and warming up the motor to see if we can see these doors actuate. Because that's really the
Yeah,
point.
and feel some heat out of the vents.
Yeah, that's really the point we're at next. But without a working heater core, that can't happen. So I think this is very educational because this is a great method for testing.
Dorman 02253.
Yeah, so bought this cap set. I went to a bike shop, I was like, hey, do you have old bike tubes? There's a bike shop within walking distance of my home. One day I just walked down there and they're like, I would love for you to take our garbage, is what the guy said to me. So that's how I got a Schrader valve. And most people have a bike pump or some kind of, electric pump at home.
Yeah. Yeah, and it doesn't need to be real high pressure because these are like 20-ish pound systems.
So at least I feel like we all learned something in terms of pressure testing. But yeah, that's going to be our night. Thanks guys for watching, and leave some comments below if you know something about bike tire tubes and want to make fun of me or the way that we tried this.
Yeah.
I'm all down for that. So thanks for watching. Hope you learned something, and we'll get back to you once we get this whole heater core situation sorted out.